And we're back for one more section on chapter 3. This is the Catholic Lady, and we're reading Great Line of God. I should have turned the page. We could have almost finished it in the last segment, so I'm just going to go ahead and add this small segment, and then we'll move on to chapter 4 another day. And so it was for many days of the summer, and Saul became young in heart and spirit as he had never been young before, and he hugged his secret to him, not from shame or embarrassment, but for fear that if he spoke of it, the magic would fly from him, as Artemis, the favorite goddess of Dazzle, fled on the silver meadows of the moon. The girl sharpened all his senses. She gave incandescent meanings to the songs of Solomon, brought jeweled subtleties to the glad psalms of David. As Dazzle never reflected on the future, not even on the morrow, he lost his own sense of time, marveling how deep were the colors of earth. The sky now to him, how precious was every flower, how exciting every tree form, how gracious every shadow, how keen every sensation, how delicious all food, and how glorious his dreams. A cup of wine was no longer wine to him. It had the color and the taste of Dazzle's lips. It held the dance of her eyes. Now everything had a larger contour to him, a vaster meaning, an almost unbearable elation and gaiety. He found himself less attuned to Ecclesiastes and the Proverbs, and more to the bright hosannas of the prophets, during the brief intervals when they were not mourning the human predicament and man's propensities for evil. He was certain in his innocence that no man had ever experienced such ineffable joy before, and he gave thanks to God for it. Yet never once did Dazzle utter a profound word, not even the unconscious wisdom of an unlettered and ignorant. She did not touch his mind, but she touched secret places in him, which were wiser, if more primeval, with the freshness of the first morning of creation. She regarded existence as a young lamb regarded it, or a bird, or anything else as simple and natural and serene. She was a rose, and she spread her fragrant petals to the sun, and gave of the divine essence of her perfume. She played with Saul as a child plays, and with all the fullness of a child, though she was older than he. She kissed him as openly as a child, and fondled his hands and neck. At these times he became delirious. Best of all, she gave him an awareness of all other human creatures, an awareness that was never to leave him. That's the end of chapter 3. I might as well add some commentary in here since we only have 3 minutes recorded. But in chapter 3, Saul is, this is talking about his becoming a man, his young teenage life, his propensity for sternness within his faith, and his teachings that he was learning to be close to God. And he initially had an aversion to women. And of course, this is all fiction. No one knows the truth, but the story is founded in truth and in the studies of Saul's writings that Miss Caldwell did prior to writing this book. So anyway, in this lovely interpretation, she's showing, she's talking about the possibilities of what could have formed his life, that he would have spoken and behaved in the manners that he did in all of the stories in the Bible and his writings, and the many times he was very stern about his lifestyle because he was a single man. So this is all playing into that, and this is a sweet story about first love and innocence. And in the next chapter, we will see what happens next that will change his way of looking at life. So we will continue with chapter 4 on another day. I appreciate your listening. Have a wonderful day. Blessings.